Hi everyone, and welcome to another video tutorial for Exchange Server admins. In this video, we will see how to recover from a failed Exchange server and go through the options to recover from this situation. In our scenario, we have an Active Directory server called DC, where we have Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, and other services, along with a standalone Exchange Server 2019 Standard Edition. We can see that this server is running with no issues. We have our mailbox databases, groups, and mailboxes configured. We are assuming that we have lost our Exchange server. Since it's a single server, our email system is dead, and we need a quick solution to recover our server. We will explore the options on how to restore our services. For this test, we will just shut down our test machine, assuming that our Exchange server is unrecoverable. Since most of the configuration is stored in Active Directory, we need to reinstall the Exchange server, maintaining the same computer name. Once we open the Active Directory user and computers on the server DC, we need to find the computer name of our Exchange server, right-click on the computer object, and click on Reset Account. This will enable us to set a new server with the same computer name. Once this is done, we need to open the Server Manager on the new server, click on Local Computer, click on Workgroup, and click on Change. We need to enter the computer name of the previous Exchange server and join it to the Active Directory in our network, which in our scenario is rizk.com. Before clicking on the OK button, make sure to disable the computer account. To do this, we need to go back to the Active Directory server. On the Active Directory Users and Computer, right-click on the computer name and click on Disable Account. Once this is done, click on OK in the new Exchange server and restart it to complete the domain join process. The next step is to start the recovery process of the Exchange server configuration. For this, we first need to install all the Exchange Server 2019 prerequisites. Tend to use PowerShell to make the installation easier. We need to download and install the .NET framework. For Exchange to work, we need to also download and install the Microsoft Unified Communication Management API 4.0, along with the URL Rewrite for IIS and Microsoft Visual C++ 2012 and 2013 redistributable. These are the extra steps and applications that we would need before actually installing the Exchange Server 2019. For these to take effect, we need to restart the server accordingly. After the restart is complete with all the installed updates of the OS and other features, we can go ahead and install our Exchange server using PowerShell. As you can see, the command showing on the screen has the extra part with the Recover server as the mode of installation. When we run this, it will start the unattended setup and install all the roles for Exchange server to run, along with recovering the configuration of the failed server from the Active Directory schema. Here the recovery process is complete. Let's go ahead and test our Exchange server by checking the Exchange Admin Center. You can see from the URL that certificates are not recovered. This is by design and needs to be installed manually. Apart from that, we have an issue with the Outlook web access since the page is not loading. Let's take a further look into our setup using the get mailbox command. Here we notice that our database is not mounted. With Exchange Server, we can use the ESEUtil command to check the status of the database. In our case, we can see that the database cannot be checked as the EDB file is locked by another process or program. This is the reason why the database cannot be mounted. To recover from this situation, we need to use Stellar Repair for Exchange. This software can help us get our mailbox database restored in the least possible time. We can easily download the tool from the Stellar website and install it. After opening the application, we need to enter our key to activate the software. Our software is now ready for use. Let's start the recovery process. But first, let's try ESEUtil one more time with the /p parameter to try to recover the database. Still, we are stopped with the File Not Found error. After opening Stellar Repair for Exchange, click on Home and select EDB File. Click on the Browse button and point the application to the EDB file location. Here, we can select a quick or extensive scan, depending on the damage. Let's go ahead with the extensive scan. Once the scan is complete, we can see the entire database structure. We can see all the mailboxes, browse through them, and preview the data in a full HTML view. We can export to PST and other file formats, but to export to PST, we must have Outlook installed on the machine. Simply select the location and the mailbox will be exported to PST. Now, let's go ahead and try to import the extracted data back to our Exchange server. We can use Outlook. Click on File, Open and Export, and open Outlook Data File. Here, we can see that our mailbox is exported correctly and no data is lost. Unfortunately, ESEUtil was not able to assist us in this issue. However, Stellar Repair for Exchange has done the job in the least possible time with no data loss.